Hey, what's up, team? I hope everyone is doing well. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Iron Factory Samurai Sideswipe. Man, one of the things that I really enjoy about this line is that aesthetically, both the box and also the toy are very, very cool to look at. And I'm not an expert in kanji or Chinese characters, but I believe this here says Flame Knight, which is kind of cool. And then up on the box, it says something to the effect of like, instantaneous burst of fire and speed. Man, taking a quick preview at the bot over here, he looks so cool. Really, really nice. Kind of slimmed down, if you will. And he has some cool little spear things by his hands. And I guess they can kind of convert into longer spears. Very, very nice. But we'll pop them open and we'll do a bit of a deep dive, okay? Alright, while I remove them from package, just wanted to say that this video review is brought to you by tfsafari.com. If you have any Transformers or even mecha needs, check out tfsafari.com first and utilize the codes that you see on the top right hand corner of the screen and save yourself a little bit of change, man. So without further ado, let's get back to the review. Alright, here he is, Sideswipe, right out of the package, Mr. Flame Knight himself. You know, I really like the fact that even at this small scale, the details on the face aren't getting puckered. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you have a company that develops these toys, and I don't know if their manufacturing is just not up to par or their tools are not as precise, but when they're crafting the face, you'll see these kind of like puckered marks on the cheeks and the mouth, and it kind of looks like they ate a lemon. But this is not like that, and it's done really, really quite well. In holding the samurai kind of like armor motif, I mean, I'm not an expert in Bushido or samurai culture or anything like that, but aesthetically, I really like how just samurai armor looks in general, you know? And this has a lot of the cool like layers that you're kind of accustomed to seeing. And like the armor, not the armor necessarily, but the legs and everything look like they have big chunks of armor on them. They're quite pronounced. The side skirts, the back and everything looks like it's just, I don't know, plates of armor kind of hanging off the toy. And I think that's just really, really cool. And I've checked out the transformation as well, and the engineering is really quite fun. Another thing that I like about the samurai style kind of motif is that there's, well, I don't know if it's samurai, but Japan maybe, but there are these little tassels and ribbon type things. And we saw the same thing on Osaru Shogun, Optimus Primal as well. And it's almost like the armor being cinched together with like a rope back in, because like back in the day, you know, that's what they did. They had to like tie stuff. And I really like the fact that they included that. I'm not really sure what it is about that kind of tickles my fancy, so to speak, but I think it's very, very cool. Now, let me show you actually what he comes packaged with as well. He has some vanity hands, some open and closed fists, because the ones natively that he comes with, and you require these for transformation just because the space is kind of tight. They don't have any holes in them, you know, they're just kind of balled up. And so if you want to equip the accessories, you'll need to swap in the hands with the holes in them, or have the open hand for kind of these like cool expressive like, oh, what's going on moments. He comes with these little like hand blades. Be very careful. These are very sharp, and so just be mindful when messing with them. And he also comes with these spears as well. Very, very cool. You know, he has a Brethren in Red Alert, and I checked out Red Alert, and I thought the accessories would be the same, but they're a little bit different, and so I'll be very happy to show you those as well. But yeah, these are looking pretty nice. Very, very nice. Kind of like tribal, actually. This over here, these are the instructions, typical like Iron Factory stuff. And we'll get to all that in a second. But let me actually equip some of the vanity hands and the accessory so that we can see what he looks like, okay? All right, so here he is equipping the hand spears, and that looks really, really nice. And the vanity hands are very easy to replace. All you got to really do is just kind of pop them off the ball pegs over there, and then they go in quite nicely, and they hold in very secure. Kind of like a la, what is it, Assassin's Creed and stuff. Very, very cool. And like I said, or I don't know if I mentioned it, but they do store in alt mode, and I think that's very, very nice. Yeah, I will say one thing I wish, as much as I am a fan of the armor and the plating in over here, the back parts actually don't have anything that they tab into, and I wish they did. I don't know, just provide a little bit of additional security, but minor gripe. And he has a lot of expressive posability within the shoulders and the arms as well. Ball joints on the shoulders, swivels, double elbow bend, and stuff like that. And really, really nice. Let me actually equip one of the open hands. You know what? I'll actually show you how the hand is plugged in. So you just bend this, then you just pop it out like that. And yeah, you want to bend it first because the little hole over here is not large enough to pull out like just going forward. So push it in from the side. And then it's so cool, dude. The fingers, like the position of them are designed really well, you know, whether it's a state of awe or telling you to like go back, or just showing you like how awesome he is that you're about to get sugar shanked. Like, very, 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 very nice, right? And yeah, and then these, they just slide in. They just slide in. And while we're doing that, we can just slide in one of these as well. That looks dope. Like he's about to chuck one of these things for like, isn't there like an Olympic event or something like that where you throw a pole? Or maybe I'm thinking Revenge of the Nerds. I feel like there's some type of event where you, javelin. Yes, javelin. That's what it is. But that looks really, really nice. You know what? I do want to see it with the second hand. So let's pop in the other vanity hand. We pull it out from the side and we pop that. Oh, wrong hand. And we'll pop this hand back in from the side, bring it around. Hey, wait a minute. No. Oh, I kept it on the fist. Or I kept it on the accessory, excuse me. So we'll pop that back on from the side. Get the second spear. And that looks very cool, my dear. Wow. Wow. I'm digging it. I'm digging the look a lot. And like I said, because he's so expressive with his posing and so many ball joints and swivels and things like that, you can get him into some really gnarly poses. And yeah. Or maybe you can even have it flipped the other way. Whoa. Yeah, that's kind of cool too. Like he's about to, whoa. That's pretty gnarly, right? Really great stuff in such a small character. I love when characters have so much personality, even at legend scale. It's one of the things that I really dislike when toys get small, is that a lot of manufacturers, they go cheap, whether it be in detail, whether it be in manufacturing, posability, or whatever. They just figure, oh, it's small, it's not going to matter and stuff. And they just don't put the proper love and attention into that. And that's why I'm a big fan of Iron Factory. I'm a big fan of Blockies. Folks that put the proper attention, JGM, you know, the ones who did the Steelhead Commander and Predaking. I'm a big fan of individuals who really, really put that amount of love and detail into these small guys. But anyway, I'm done kind of like glazing and glossing over these miniature guys. Let's get into the transformation so that we can really check out the engineering. This is very, very cool engineering as we get him into his modified Lambo mode, okay? Alrighty, let's get to transforming him. I have done it a few times, but it's still a little bit rough on memory, and so I might be consulting the instructions every now and then. And so just kind of bear with me, okay? And so actually, give me 1 second. I gotta sneeze. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, you know, one of the things I was gonna say is that I'm still in my recovery phase post-surgery. Sneezing sucks. Coughing and sneezing sucks because I have some pretty severe cuts on my lower torso right now, on my abdomen. And you saw what I did, by the way? You're just kind of pulling this down to create, oops, excuse me. You're pulling this down to create the front of the vehicle like that. And then you're going to be flipping this entire thing over. Oh, just ball joint. To get the orientation, because that's the way the car is going to look. So just got to navigate some of the space over here and move it around. And if it does pop off that ball joint, it's fine. We can address it later. Okay. But yeah, like I said, oh man, because of the cuts and stuff, the incisions from the surgery, and even if I laugh too hard, it's so painful. So I have to keep my laughs to kind of like little chuckles, the minimums, no big like belly laughs, because like I said, that's where I'm all like carved up. Okay. So we're doing it like that, and then from here, and you can see it coming together already, right? The shell of the car has already been formed. The back of the car is here. The hood of the car is here. And you can see these are the legs. I mean, very sideswipey, you know, and I'm glad that is kind of retained. Oops, that came untabbed. This is an ab crunch, but it's kind of like a waist ab crunch, by the way. I didn't really show it off earlier, but he does have that. And again, it does aid you in the really, really expressive posing that this guy has. Then we'll flip this up. Actually, you need to turn the head around, but rather than do that later, They tell you to spin the head around later, but it's difficult by the time that you kind of get to it, so we'll do it now. Then we'll flip this up. And then the arms, I believe, will also just kind of compress in like that. Yeah, there you go. And be mindful of keeping the fists poked up or oriented backward. Okay, now the greatest challenge that I have encountered with this toy is actually in, believe it or not, it's actually in the feet. I have great difficulty in transforming them. I have not really found a really pleasant or easy way to do it. And you know what? I'm wondering if I can just close this up right now, just so I can prevent any unnecessary movement and stuff. Yeah, I guess I can kind of do that. So we're just closing this up, and it's closing up very nicely. To some degree, it almost looks like the Fall of Cybertron Sideswipe, right? In terms of the look. But okay, so here's where I get stuck. So one, you need to flip the toes around, and after you flip the toes around, and then you open up the little wings. Here, and I'll move these too. Really not a difficult transformation, actually, once you get used to it. I'm all like slightly grunting as I do it, like, ah. So you have to push these back into this cavity, but this space is tight. Fortunately, these, where is it? These do kind of rotate, and I think that's what it's meant for, and then you can push that back. You know what? This was the smoothest that I've, I don't know. Like, I feel like there must be a smoother way to do this, and I think I'm getting it wrong, but there you go. That's actually the smoothest I've ever been to do it. Every time I try it, they fall off the ball socket. But oh. Well, okay. I guess we just solved the problem then. Never mind. So you do need to rotate the sides of the legs to get that additional clearance, because you just can't bend it straight back. It's extremely tight. And then from here, we open up that flank on the side and we bring this back, and we'll do the same for the other side. And afterward, you're gonna compress up. Oops, sorry about that. Always keeping the bot out of the shot. I'm always like keeping it here, 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 and so sorry about that. Bring that together. And I know there's like a silent group of you who are always yelling at me. I'm like, bro, bring it back in the shot. Yeah, and then we just push that forward. This side too. There we go. That's a nice looking alt mode, isn't it? It's a really, really pretty looking alt mode, and look how clean that is on the underside. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, not too panely, and in alt mode, everything tidies up, everything cleans up. It's different. Sorry, I'm just grabbing the accessories right now so I can show you. It's different than in bot mode, where the armor pieces are kind of like freely swaying, which is not bad. But alt mode, you get that sense of security where everything is kind of like tabbed in. And so in the instructions, they tell you to plug it in. There's little tabs right there on the side. And the way they show it to you is like this, which is cool. They kind of look like wings and stuff like that. But, you know, I actually kind of like them facing forward. I don't know how effective and you know that is. Like, if I were to think about the realistic positioning of these and the placement of these things, what would be a more effective look? And it's probably with it pointing backward. But I don't know, man. That looks really nice, and that's the look that I'm gonna give him. I think it looks very dope, very, very cool. Kind of like pokety pokes facing forward, and it's almost like hugs the contour of the side of the vehicle. And I think it's really nice. I think it's really nice. If I failed to mention this earlier, this guy is kind of like a Legends/Legends Plus, more like a Legend scale guy, in line with all the Iron Factory stuff that they've been putting out. And so I've been really impressed with their whole Samurai series. I mean, granted, I've only messed with him, Red Alert, and also Optimus Prime, but everything 3 out of 3, 100% has been really great. And I'm hoping that I can review more. I appreciate y'all watching and I appreciate your generous donation of time. I'll catch you on the next one, okay? Bye-bye.